Hi, welcome to my channel, or thanks for coming back if you've watched previous videos. My name is Linda, and I'm in the process of building my wardrobe by sewing my own clothes. Not exclusively sewing, but doing it a lot. I've gotten back to it after being away from it most of my adult life. My mom taught me how to sew when I was a kid. Back when I was a kid, a lot of people sewed. It was economical at that time rather than buying new clothes. And I didn't do it for years, and then I got back to it during the pandemic. My mom died in August of 20, and I know this is a way of being able to stay connected with her and, connected with myself in an interesting way. I'm an actor and writer living in New York City, and sewing is sort of a break from my other artistic life in that I can imagine something and take it from start to finish independently, and it's sort of a different headspace than the other work that I do. And so I've just found it super gratifying to come into this room in my apartment and just be able to focus and sew. With this video, I'm going to show you my 10 favorite pieces that I've made over the last few years. And I'll tell you why, the things I've worn the most, the things that have just lasted, and the things I reach for most often. And in the process of that, sort of talk about my personal style, which is continually evolving over the decades. And I'm really right now trying to sort of find it again and nail it down. I don't know if that's a thing one should even do, but I think about it a lot. There's something called the 3-word method. I'll put a link below to the woman who originated that idea, but it's based on sort of what is your everyday vibe with your clothes. And the best word I come up with is casual, like what I look like now, a shirt and jeans. But on the other hand, casual doesn't always feel like exactly the right word for me. The second word is aspirational, and for that word I use dramatic. That feels right. And then the third word is, what does it feel like to be in your clothes? And right now I'm using the word feminine, but again, these words evolve over time, right? Okay, so this is the first piece that I will talk about, the Taya boho shirt. I just made this one. I do have a video how to follow along with this shirt. And since the weather has not been so hot, I've reached for this many, many times. It just fits the bill for me in so many ways. I love the poofy feminine sleeve, but it's also just super easy and comfortable to wear. The first version of this shirt I made is this one. The body of these shirts are the same. These are the sleeves. Love these sleeves that came with the pattern. I constructed these sleeves. This shirt I made this like in the beginning of my new sewing journey. So this is probably 4 years old, and I wear it all the time. If you look at the rack of things I've pulled out that are my favorites, there's definitely a theme going on here, which people tell you to do when you're trying to figure out your style, right? Like pull out your clothes and look at the stuff that you wear all the time. I mean, the rich colors I know are really good for me. A lot of red, black is a big one, and blue has become more and more there in my choice. I wear jeans a lot. I grew up in Colorado. I'll put up a picture of I modeled briefly when I was young, and that photo I still have is like sort of the epitome of what I look like all the time and what I wore, usually Levi's 501s. These jeans that I have on now are Gap boyfriend loose fit jeans. That's another thing, right, with getting older, is I'm just not into things being as tight and fitted. I've felt that change in me a lot. This shirt I made also this summer, and I've worn it a ton. I have a sew along. It's called a Rosie shirt. And I was calling it my bowling shirt. And at first, these were leftover scraps I had, the violet linen and the black linen. And I thought, let me just try. Let me just put these two things together. I saw something on Instagram. I think it was a man's shirt that had the opposite colors on either side of the shirt. And I thought, that's kind of cool. And now I love it. I thought it might be cheesy and weird, but I actually love it. I wear it all the time. This is the cuff top, and I'm putting links below to all the patterns I'm referring to. I made this again at least probably 3 years ago. I've made 2 of these. I adore this shirt. It is so comfortable and easy to wear and cool and different, slightly unexpected. A friend of mine admired it, and so I'm in the process of making one for her. This fabric also, I think I probably got it from Mood Fabrics in New York City, which is where I get most of my fabric. But again, it's a winner. This is the Edie shirt. I also made this one a few years ago. I throw it on all the time, fall, winter, early spring. I use it almost like a jacket or a sweater. I'll wear it over a t-shirt or over a button down. It's this, I made it out of this really heavy cotton. And the florals. Are you getting that theme? I don't know what to say about that other than I respond to the big florals a lot. The last few things I've made, including this shirt, have actually been, more solid color, but I don't know. I'm still super into the florals. This one, I think these dahlias. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, this has been a terrific make. You could also do this out of like a linen or really light cotton for summer. It's a great pattern. It's easy, it's fast, and super, super wearable. This one has also become a staple in my wardrobe that I reach for all the time, and it's also probably 3 years old. I found this fabric at Mood. It's such a soft, easy cotton. And so in looking at all these shirts, right, I might say to myself, what is your style? I throw on a separates most days. I work from home. I don't have a need for really formal things. I love tailored, structured, beautiful, formal clothes. And I have some, but I don't do that daily. So again, I go back to my everyday word is casual. I'm still looking for another word that feels a little more true to me. But that's why I think I'm finding when I do pull out and look, so many shirts that just have an ease and an everyday feel to them. This shirt, can't remember the name, I'm putting the titles in the video, was a complete experiment. This was also leftover fabric from other projects. I hope you can see this sort of lace at the bottom, this fabric that had this lace. So I downloaded the PDF and I just thought, well, let me try and see if this thing comes together. I did lower the neckline, so I have a really nice deep V, which when I wear it with like a black lace bra, it's super sexy and very feminine, another one of my words, and feels good. I also sometimes just wear it over a t-shirt, over a graphic tee. I love the big flouncy collar. Style right is proportion and mixing proportions so that you have something that's perhaps a bit more loose and flowy with something that's a little more tailored. So, and also the juxtaposition of, with that shirt, the black sort of edgy darkness of it and this lace and big collar, but also the deep V, which gives it the edgy sexiness. So mixing elements like that, I really like to do. And it brings me closer to feeling like myself. These pants, was the first pair of the Mitchell trousers, was the first pair of pants I've ever made. I was extremely nervous, but they turned out. I love them. I've worn them so much. They're in a kind of mid-weight cotton, and they fit perfectly, and they're super, super useful instead of jeans. That's also something I've tried to figure out, because I can sort of fall back on jeans again from my history and just how I grew up. I think there's something in there in all of us, and our identity gets formed at that time in our lives when we're young, and something sticks there. I've tried to find other things to wear on my bottom half besides jeans, and I'm really, really happy about these pants. This summer I made the same Mitchell trousers in linen, which I've also worn a ton, and I'm really happy to have black linen pants. It feels like a staple now. Okay, moving on to the dresses that I made. I love wearing dresses. I love sewing dresses. I don't necessarily wear them as much in the summer. I wear dresses more just because of the heat. I don't want to wear my jeans at all, so I'll wear a loose, lightweight cotton dress. But these three that I'm going to show you are absolutely my favorite that I've made, and I feel like they're really successful because I want to put them on. Like, I look in my closet and I'm like, that one's going on. This is the Barcelona dress. It's just a real simple sleeveless dress. I added these ties, and my inspiration is the designer Gary Graham, who I learned about through Project Runway when I watched him on one season of that. I'll put up a picture of his work, his style, and he does this sort of Victorian modern mix that I just find so cool. And part of that was this kind of corseted almost look with these ties that he puts around the waist of things. So I thought, hey, I'll just add that and give it a try. And you know what? It's cool. It worked. It just adds a little zhuzh to the dress, a little drama, which is another one of my words, which it is fun and feels good when I have it on. All right, this is the Aurelia dress. I love this dress. This dress was extremely challenging. It is fully lined. There is a terrific video sew along I will link below, though, that really helped make it possible, because when I got to that point where, you know, I was able to do the body of the dress fine, but when you get to installing the lining and how you have to install it and then turn it right side out, often when you line something, turning it happens in the most sort of geometry-like way in your brain, something I was never very good at. So I was so happy to have the sew along. Here's the tie that goes with it. I have not worn this a lot. This feels very formal to me, but I wore it to a wedding last fall, and I wore it out to dinner and out to a couple evening events. And it's just, I feel so good. You know, that's the quest, right? To feel like yourself in a piece of clothing, and clothing matters so much. It can make you or break you when you're putting yourself out into the world, which is just not easy for any of us ever, to walk out and fully feel in our bodies and fully feel like ourselves and fully be able to connect with other people and speak our minds. And what you've got on can make a huge difference. And this is great. All right, this is the last dress. This is hard to see on the hanger because it is a really unusual construction. You'll see it, the picture with it on me, but this is fantastic. It's, you know, unusual in so many ways. The design, the back of it. I love this bit in the back. When I first made this, I was not sure how I felt about it because it didn't fit. It didn't fit my figure. Obviously, it's a loose, completely different fit. And I went for most of my 20s, going to college, working my way through college and working in offices, and always wearing, and it was in the 80s, wearing very fitted, sculpted, you know, clothes. I really felt like almost like I had to do that. Like I had to show my figure. I mean, I wanted to, but it was also sort of a weird pressure to do that. So that has changed in me. This is like a whole nother video, and like how I feel about that. I still feel this sort of internal pressure to wear things that are more uh, that are tighter to my silhouette, but I don't necessarily want to. So when I first put this on, I was like, oh, do I like it? What do I think? But I loved it. But I had this sort of internal conflict going on, which I think is very real about clothes. And I do think you have to listen to yourself, especially if you're buying things, you know, if you're in the dressing room, we all know we've been there and it's like, I'm not sure. If you're not sure, right, don't get it. And now buying things online, I really don't like it. It's really hard. Okay, last but not least, the jumpsuit. I'm laughing because it's just so out there, but I just love it so much. It's like velvet. I got this fabric at Mood Fabrics. I saw the fabric and I was like, this is it. I knew I wanted to make a jumpsuit. I didn't go into shopping for the fabric with this in mind at all, but this is what happened. And this was also, the instructions were great for this. This was also very challenging for various reasons, just getting the whole crotch waist thing together so that you can put it on the way a jumpsuit goes on. It is really warm. I haven't worn it that much. I've worn it out a couple of nights and I love wearing it. It's a big statement. I think it definitely is not casual. It's definitely dramatic and not so much feminine, but it is in a way. Again, this goes back to, it's not feminine and that it's not tight to my body. It's not showing my silhouette, but there's something about a feminine body inside a more boxy, masculine form, which, you know, the boiler suit, jumpsuit is definitely a masculine form. That juxtaposition, I think, is actually quite feminine and sexy, but it's taken my brain getting older and things changing to really understand that and embrace it. So I think that was 11. That was my bonus item. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm working on another sew along video, so I will be back soon with another one. And if you want to, please hit the subscribe button and the like button and follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Also, P.S. If you're curious at all about my work as an actor and writer, I made a YouTube series a while ago for women wrestling with their desires. There are 4 separate characters, 4 short monologues, women at different stages of their life, different subject matters. I think they're funny and interesting and a little tragic, and you might identify with them or get something out of them. So I will link those below. Okay, thanks.